You know, there's a long-held paradigm in golf that says that we don't start to uncock the wrists until very late into the downswing. But in this video, I'm going to bust that yet again, and I've got conclusive proof to show you that we release the club much higher in the downswing than ever thought before. I understand that busting a paradigm, a long-standing belief in golf, is kind of akin to turning a cruise ship. It's going to happen very slowly. But I'd like to prove to at least a few people out there who are open-minded enough that the wrists do not start uncocking, at least the force that's being exerted on the grip does not uncock down here, but instead way back up here. So if you'd like to know more about it and be open-minded, then please keep watching. Hey, this is Steve with HitItLonger.com. I hope after finishing watching this video, you'll find it beneficial and you'll consider hitting the subscribe button, liking the video, and hopefully leaving a comment down below. So again, today we're talking about the question, when does the release of the club head, or the force that's applied actively to uncock the wrists, when does that start, and when does it at its highest peak, and what is actually happening coming down into impact? Let's get into it. So if you've been watching my channel for any time at all, you know already that my mentor was long-hitting Mighty Mike Austin, who was also quite sciencey of a guy too. For such a large, strong guy, he was actually quite intelligent too, very knowledgeable. It was his belief for decades that the release of the club started from near the top. I would say specifically, he would get to about here, and just after the heel sets down and the knees start to even out, that leaves the hands still up here about shoulder high. That he believed that the throw of the club, or the straightening out process to get the club in line with the left arm, he felt like the process started way back there.
Everybody say, delay the uncock of the hand. You delay the uncock of the hands, it's like you're taking a car 60 miles an hour, go to the stoplight and put on your brakes. You go 333 feet before it stops. You cannot come to here and hit it, it'll knock you right back. You see this? Oh, this is only reacting. My hands are reacting from a stimulus here. As I come down, if I'm going to hit a nail, 20-penny nail, I'm going to come in like this. I'm not going to hit it like this. I'm going to hit it from the elbow to the hand, like that. Because my cock starts here to there. I'm not going to hit a nail this way. You'd never get to it. So it takes a hell of a lot of time for this club head to catch up with this left arm. Look here. There. What you're seeing down here, people take pictures and it look like your hands are like this. It's taking this time because of the movement of your weight off your right hip to your left hip to get in position to make this thing catch up. But I'm starting that club head right here. Just like that. If you started down here, it'll knock you right back there. Okay?
We went to Africa.
It's amazing how many people are still suckered by the look of two-dimensional video. That it looks like the best players are actually holding the angle. But I have another piece of absolutely conclusive proof that is not where the club is being uncocked, or at least the attempt to uncock it, the force that is being applied to uncock the wrists and cause the club head to whirl through and catch up with the left arm. So I want you to consider this. Take a look at this graph I'm putting up on the screen now. It's pretty technical looking, but we're looking at here is, you're looking at the position of the club. This is a three-dimensional graph, and it's measuring or calculating forces and torques that are acting on the grip in all different directions. So it's showing the club right about here, so very early in the downswing, and you're seeing there's a line that comes down intersecting. That's the time factor. That's how far time-wise we are from impact. And it's showing that's the highest peak or the highest burst, and it's a pretty rapid burst of energy to take it up to that peak. So it doesn't build gradually, it's a real burst of force that's applied, and it peaks way up here. And then you can see at the end of the graph, as the club will be coming down and approaching the impact zone, you'll see that force actually drops to 0 and then finally drops into negative territory, which is quite curious how you would have actually negative force on it, but only after impact or at impact. So what that graph is telling us is that we're recruiting a big burst of energy way back here, and we're getting the throw or the throwaway of all the angle. The forces are acting here. What you're not seeing on video, you're seeing the response, which takes a second, because this force you're applying has to steadily accelerate the club head and uncock it. Okay, so that's the response that's happening, but the force is here. Now that you see later in the downswing, you see the graph drop to 0. What that means is that after a certain point of applying force to uncock the wrists, it's all back here. You're going into relaxation mode, or you could say freewheeling, very loose with the hands, very relaxed. It's a burst of energy and then a complete relaxation, which brings back to Mike Austin's teachings, which were, he would say, the person who hits it the farthest will be the person who could go from full contraction to full relaxation the fastest. So he would say it's not a matter of size and strength, it's a matter of going from muscles contracting to muscles relaxing. This graph is eerily similar to those statements that Mike made so many years ago. A lot of people say he was a pioneer many years ahead of his time, and we're seeing more and more pieces all the time of things that, well, he keeps turning out to be right. So I need you to stop believing, at least a few of you out there, not going to get all converts just yet, but this graph I'm showing you, this is a current tour player, someone that you've heard of. It's actually a star. It's not, not a journeyman. It's actually a pretty big star who's won multiple tournaments on the tour. So I don't want you to think anymore that the angle is held and the uncocking force happens right down here. It's physically impossible to hold back here. It would be like a cannon shooting. The reason we put a cannon on wheels, so the cannonball shoots forward and the cannon rolls backwards. Otherwise, the whole mechanism would break if it weren't allowed to give. So to hold this down to here in reality, and then first of all, you'd always be late, and you'd slice it and shank it every time. So you're not doing what you think you are. If you think you're holding it down here, you're just wrong. You're not doing that. But even if you could do it, if you could uncock with enough speed and force, you'd get thrown backwards like the cannon rolls backwards as the cannonball is fired off. It's just a matter of physics of action and reaction. Mike would say stimulus, reaction, response. At the bottom, the response is the intention of catching the club shaft up with the left arm and getting the club face square. So I hope this gives at least some of you out there a little better understanding. And again, it's conclusive proof. A tour player who is peaking his uncocking force at shoulder high near the top of his swing, similar to Jack Nicklaus, he would say, I feel like I can't throw too early at all. I can throw as early as I want, as long as I'm stepping over to my left foot, to my left side. I hope you guys will consider this. I'd love to have a discussion with you. If you can keep it nice and civil, put your comment down below. Let's talk about it a little bit. Thanks a lot for watching again. Thanks for watching my channel. Thanks to Golf Development Complex. Look how beautiful it is out here. And if I don't see you in the next video, I hope I'll see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Stay well.